All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take you through our activity today, so you can see what water molecules go through and how the water cycle works. So hopefully this will really nail down all the different possibilities. So first page of this slide is where the directions are that you're probably watching right now. It's blank now because I'm recording it. So second page here is our map. All right, this is our basic rough idea of where our water molecules spend the majority of their lifespan. What we're going to do is we're going to have you start off in one of these sections. You're going to click on it, and then you're going to record what's happening to you, where you're going, and where you're traveling. So for the purpose of today, we're going to have you all just start out in the atmosphere. Okay, so you're starting out as water vapor. So here we are starting out in the atmosphere. I click on where it has atmosphere. A little link will go up and it takes me to this spot. This is my options, okay? Where can I go if I was in the atmosphere? Now to keep this random, okay, because you don't get to decide where you go, it's events outside of you, you need to just pick one of these circles, all right? So whichever one you pick, click. All right, I picked that one, takes me down here. All right, and it tells me overnight, I was in the atmosphere, but overnight you changed from a gas, water vapor, to a solid ice crystal, and you appear on the grass as frost. So now go to the ground. That's where you're at. So what I need to do before I go back to that game board, if I click on this right here, go to the ground, it will take me up to this first part. I've already recorded. All right, step one, this is where you were going. Okay, you started in the atmosphere. Step two, you're now going to the ground. All right, now that I've typed that in as best as I can and it's disconnected, so hopefully this isn't affecting the video, you're going to go ahead, you'll click on that, you'll type in exactly where you're going. Now that I've got ground as my second step, I go back to the game board. Okay, so I click on that, it takes me back to my game board. That's the link up at the top. Now instead of clicking on atmosphere, that's not where I am anymore. Now I'm on the ground. So I click ground, it takes me to the next slide, ground options. All right, where could I go? So I click on one of these, takes me here. You changed from a liquid water to a gas, water vapor, through the process of evaporation. So you go back to the atmosphere. So we click on this, takes us back to record where we went to now. We went to the atmosphere, right? Click back to the game board, and I continue along this path. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try and choose different ones. So hopefully it'll take me somewhere different. But you'll notice if you start off in a certain section, you're more likely going to go to certain places. All right, so 26. Oh, you're carried by the wind and continue to float in the atmosphere as a gas, water vapor. Stay where you are. All right, so this next turn, I stayed in the atmosphere. There we go. And I would click back, go back to my beginning part. Here we go, still in the atmosphere. I click on this, let's try this one. And I'm gonna keep moving through until I fill these in. There you go. You rise higher into the atmosphere where you cool off, you condense, and you turn into a cloud. So now I'm gonna be in the clouds. Excellent, so there's somewhere new. And type in that I went to the clouds, back to the game board, and I keep moving through till I fill all of those up, okay? Now, if you ever make a mistake, you end up in the wrong spot, the second slide, that's where our game board is. Slide number 3, that's where you have this list of everywhere you go. So your goal for this is we want to go ahead and make sure that you have filled out the 20 steps. See where you can go, where you can move, and the details on it of why you're moving from one place to another. You know, we just saw the atmosphere. You went to a cloud on this last one. The reason you went to a cloud this time was because you rose up higher and you condensed, whereas look at your other times. One time you were in the atmosphere and you went to the ground because you were down low and it had gotten so cold that you actually turned back right into a solid, and you condensed onto the grass as a liquid. One of the, I can't remember what it said. And then this atmosphere, you stayed there because you just floated along. Like, you don't always turn into something. Sometimes you stay as water vapor. So that's what I want you to pay attention to as you're playing this game, filling it out. Fill out all 20, turn it in, hit submit. So this is something that when you're all finished, we should be able to see these spots. And For those of you who are looking to shortcut it, yes, you can tell when people have shortcutted it because you can't always go between all of them. And the likelihood that you would just stay atmosphere, atmosphere, atmosphere 40 times in a row is unlikely. So go through it, make sure that it makes sense. I was thinking about this. I'm going to over here, I'm going to write the words so that you know how to spell them. So I will add that into it so that there's no question when you get back to this page, like how do you spell atmosphere? I'll write all of the options over here on the side so that you know how to spell things correctly. All right, so I hope you enjoy this. I hope it helps you understand how we move along in the water cycle. All right, good luck to you today.